2, 3. Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing Money in the Bank. Yeah. Alrighty. And to start off, we're going to go ahead and review the very first match of the night, the men's Money in the Bank. This match popped off. Perfect way to start the night. There was so many different cool spots. There was a spot where Ricochet and Logan Paul got pushed off the ladder and bounced off the ropes. It kind of got a little botchy, but then they what is it called, a Spanish fly through two tables that were set up on the outside. The crowd in London was just electric. Like we saw with Puerto Rico, they need to do so many more out of international premium live events, or even just regular shows in general. But the premium live events have been coming in clutch. I've been telling you guys, I don't know what's going on, but Triple H just has that touch to him, you know? Pay-per-view after pay-per-view, premium live after premium live event, banger after banger. The crowd pop for LA Knight was through the roof. As soon as he entered that building, you could hear it from 2 countries over, literally. Like we said in the predictions, it was either between LA Knight or Damian Priest. But it came down to Damian Priest winning it. Yeah. I kind of had a tiny feeling he would, simply just because Finn and Seth had their a championship match later on tonight, and we'll get into that in a bit. But yes, Damian Priest winning it, becoming Mr. Money in the Bank. They were saying it's Senor Money in the Bank. And it does suck that LA Knight didn't win, but oh my goodness. Elevating Damian Priest to that next level is exactly what they need. And then next up we had Gunther versus Riddle. This was a pretty nice matchup. Nobody really got involved too much. Just a great match between Gunther and Riddle. Like Gunther always puts on banger after banger. But the submission holds, honestly, I want to see them have a submission match. Like, strictly submissions. They haven't had one of those matches in WWE in a very, very long time. I want to say probably like over a decade or so. A good old submission match, because that's how this match was ended. With a nice ankle lock from Gunther, because Matthew Riddle's ankle was very, very damaged. Gunther picking up the victory, retaining his title. But seriously, though, I really do want to see a nice submission match between them. I think it would be very good, especially the way they're taking Riddle more seriously. All around great matchup. Kind of got ended in a hurry almost. Like not a hurry, but I don't know. Gunther, he's kind of like an odd superstar simply because he doesn't really have a finisher, you know? He has a power bomb, but other than that, he just chops people to death, you know? Just chop after chop after chop. But yeah, it did end a little bit sooner than I thought it would. But that was because they were setting up for the return of Drew McIntyre. Drew comes out after Gunther wins. Kind of shows him like, hey, I'm here to take your title. And the pop was just over. It's like through the roof. Like, I get that it's in London and it's like Drew McIntyre's backyard. But still, oh my goodness. I'm glad that he returned. I'm glad to see him back on TV. It's been since WrestleMania is when we last saw him. Absolutely outstanding, and this feud is gonna be one for the ages. It's definitely gonna go. It's gonna be really good to see this to continue. And then next up, we saw the women's tag team matchup: Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan challenging for Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler's tag team championship. And hey, we got this prediction correct. Liv and Raquel did win. But oh my lord. The way WWE is just telling stories and just it actually leaves me speechless. It makes me my brain produces a brain fart. Literally, that's how crazy this stuff is. Because I saw the match promo before the match had started, and I kind of was underestimating Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Like, they're actually here to whoop some ass and take some names. They're actually out here breaking people's arms, putting them in some nice submissions, you know? But it just got to a weird point in the match where Baszler's beating on Liv Morgan, I believe it was, and they get to the corner. Ronda Rousey hits a blind tag, tags herself in, and I don't know what happened, but Baszler just, like a switch flipped in her head. Shayna Baszler turned on Ronda Rousey, her long-time best friend. And you know, if anyone says they saw this coming, they are lying through their teeth. They turn into Pinocchio. Their nose is growing 2 feet long. No one in their right mind could have predicted this, you know? But I'm actually kind of glad that this happened. And the storytelling they can have from this, absolutely insane. This could be like the female version of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Maybe one day they do come back and be best friends and whatnot, but Shayna Baszler finally, like, unlocking that killer she used to have back in NXT, you know? She's finally showing us she's ready to mean business, and who better to do it with than her actual long time best friend, you know? But yeah, I think that there's, like, plenty of reason for her to turn. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see this coming anytime soon at all, really. But it just makes sense now that I think about it, now that it's happened. They, like, Ronda Rousey has been outshining Shayna Baszler in all aspects of their life, you know? Ronda took over the MMA world when Shayna was also in the MMA world. When Shayna came to WWE, Ronda comes to WWE, outshines her in that class, like becoming a women's champion over and over and over again. And then Shayna Baszler not doing nothing, like Ronda winning a Royal Rumble. Shayna hasn't even come close to winning a Royal Rumble. But yeah, I definitely I want this feud. I'm so happy that we're getting it. I love these twists and turns throughout every single storyline we're getting, you know? Like, this was, what the hell, you know? Like, just, I just can't believe it. It does kind of make it a little bit dumb that they did win the championships and unify them and kind of just won them, and she's turning on her now. But, you know, I can seriously put all that aside if this feud can become like a freaking stellar feud. Heck, even benefit Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez by pairing them up to defend their titles against Alba Fire and I can't remember that team's name, but the NXT Women's Champions, you know? Have them have that feud for the tag titles. Have Shayna and Ronda do their own thing, their own feud right now. Absolutely wonderful work they're doing. Next up, we get into Dominic Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. And there was rumors and speculations of Brock Lesnar showing up, and he's gonna challenge Cody to a match at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, we did not get that. This was just a regular old matchup, you know. Rhea Ripley would get involved here and there. Cody would brush it off and just come over here and beat Dominic. As simple as that. We have Cody Rhodes winning. And with all the rumors and speculations, thinking Brock is going to come out one point or another during the matchup, nowhere to be seen. Not even there in London, I bet. But it was good to get some kind of normalcy, you know, like just a nice regular old match. No twist turns, no championship on the line, no nothing. No crazy story behind it. Just an all-out regular match. It was pretty nice. After this, we got the return of John Cena. And this one, I know LA Knight is over. I know Cody Rhodes, he had a great pop when he came out. This crowd was electric. Electric! Okay? Like, there were moments where you really could not make a loud enough noise to be louder than the crowd. After Cody and Dominic's match, they get out of there. John Cena comes out, and he's talking about WrestleMania in London, in the O2 Arena maybe. And then I love the fact that we have Grayson Waller come out. Kind of get John Cena working with some younger guys, still get them like over, get their name in that conversation with them, you know? I definitely think that even though John Cena is very old and he can't wrestle the way he used to wrestle back in the day, they can still benefit by being in the ring with this guy, you know? Like with Austin Theory beating him at Mania, he needs to talk about that way more. John Cena is literally the GOAT of wrestling, you know? And the pop this man got was through the roof. It was at the loudest pop of the entire night over any of the top wrestlers in the entire on the entire card. John Cena got the biggest pop easily. Grayson Waller comes out, tries to interrupt him, say, "No, no, no, we're not gonna have WrestleMania in bumhole, London. We're gonna have it in Australia." And then Grayson Waller decides to attack John Cena. John Cena retaliates, hits an AA, and then leaves the building. I think it's good to get him. Maybe John Cena can have another match and have it against Grayson Waller and put him over. But the one thing I'm kind of not liking is whether it's John Cena or it's another old-timey legend that kind of comes and puts somebody over. I'm kind of speaking about John Cena specifically. When he comes and helps these other guys out, they basically just turn into younger versions of The Miz, really. We saw it with Austin Theory, just a bratty, obnoxious heel. Seeing it with Grayson Waller now, and it's like, that's literally The Miz's gimmick back in the day. 2013, that's all The Miz was, you know? Him and Cena having those feuds about him griping over this or griping after that. And I just don't want these guys to turn into, I don't want Austin Theory or Grayson Waller to just turn into a Miz, you know? Not trying to discredit The Miz, but The Miz can be so much more than what he is. And it sucks that people aren't willing to admit that. Next up, we have the Women's Money in the Bank matchup. And oh my goodness. This match was just another banger after banger, you know? Like, I don't know what it is, but these matches during these premium live events have just been nothing but amazing. My prediction was Zelina Vega was going to win it. Unfortunately, she didn't win it. But we did have some very, very good spots in this matchup. We had Trish and Zoe Stark working together, trying to take down Becky Lynch. At one point, they handcuffed one of her hands, trying to handcuff her to the rope so she can't get to the briefcase. They handcuff her hand, her wrist, but not to anything. So she's just running around with a handcuff. And Bayley knocks down Io Sky from the ladder. Now it's Bayley and Becky climbing that ladder. Becky still has that handcuff. Io Sky decides to handcuff Becky Lynch to Bayley through the ladder's rungs so they cannot continue to climb. And Io Sky holds the briefcase above them, becoming Miss Money in the Bank. I think that's just very incredible for her. And I would love to see what she can do with this. Whether she goes for Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair. Or, no, Asuka has it right now. I'm sorry. Whether she's going for Asuka or Rhea Ripley. I think that this will be good. This can be like... I want to say that this can turn into like dream matches. Like, if whoever she catches in on, they want to get their title rematch or whatnot. This can set up some very good like dream matches and matches that we had maybe once or twice before, but now that they're at this caliber, it'll be even better. Like Io Sky versus Asuka. That'll be an amazing matchup if Io decides to cash in on Asuka and then Asuka wants to get a rematch and whatnot. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. I don't know if we've had that match before, but that's an incredible matchup. And I'm glad to see the way women's wrestling is starting to evolve. Like, it's already been through this revolution, and it's still continuously growing. But it's advanced so much to the point where we're finally being able to say, like, oh, this is a dream matchup, and this is a dream matchup, and these are going to be all-star classic matchups that people are going to remember 10, 20 years from now, you know? Some amazing feuds. So, yeah, Io Sky winning it will be very good. I know Asuka's feuding with Charlotte and Belair right now, so Io just kind of slithering her way in there, kind of cashing on whoever decides to win it at the next pay-per-view or premium live event or whatever. And after this matchup, we get straight into Seth versus Finn. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. And like I said, we're going to get back into it. Damian Priest being Mr. Money in the Bank. And Finn Balor, his teammate from Judgment Day. Trying to win a title, right? Woo-wee. Seth. It set up the way it was supposed to. But Seth got out of there with the title and win. He won because off the threads, off the hair on his chinny chin, you know? Damian Priest comes out and he costs Finn the championship. I don't know. It looks intentionally. I don't know how they're going to resolve this issue. They're already planting these seeds of them trying to break up and have like a little power trip. The student becomes the teacher and whatnot. Damian Priest comes out, acts like he's going to cash in. Seth is ready for it. He's ready for it. He's looking around. He's like, I got eyes in the back of my head. I'm ready for this. Damian Priest just takes a seat. Kind of causes a little bit of distraction coming out. Finn Balor capitalizes off that. He's hitting a sling blade after a sling blade. He's ready to hit a coup de grace. And Damian Priest stands up from his chair, acting like he's going to come cash in. Finn sees that. Seth capitalizes off that very last second and retains his championship. But this will be very interesting seeing the little bickering match back and forth between Finn Balor and Damian Priest if Damian Priest cashes in on Seth. It's still a possibility for him to go after Roman. I know it's very unlikely, but it's definitely still a possibility that people are forgetting about. And the way these storylines go, you never know what's happening next. But after this matchup, we get straight into the civil war of the Usos versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. The Bloodline Civil War. This match started extremely slow. Not extremely slow, but it was just like, we got to pick it up. What's going on? No action. Just going off the crowd. The crowd was incredible. And throughout this entire match, the crowd was hilarious. Literally chanting all kinds of different things. At one point saying, stand up if you hate Roman. And Roman is on the apron. He's not in the match. He decides to sit down on the apron instead of standing up. Hilarious stuff. And they did some very nice callbacks. Like, I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, Roman tweeted either the day of Money in the Bank or earlier, like the day before. He said, stack 'em. Oh, wait. I can't remember what it said exactly, but it referred back to the WrestleMania with Edge and Daniel Bryan. Basically saying he's going to stack the Usos and he's going to pin them and win. And they did a nice little callback to it, but the Usos kicked out. The amount of kickouts in this match were through the roof. So incredible. At any point of any of these pinfall covers, that could have been the match. And I would have had no problem with it. Whichever way it went, you know. There was a few times, I mean, Jay was getting pinned by Roman, and he kicked out with one of those, like, low blow kickouts. Like, it wasn't intentionally, but he's trying to kick out, and just so happens Roman's there. We get a nice little double super kick from the Usos to Roman. So the way this match was going was Roman is just tearing it all up. But also throughout the beginning, you can see Solo, like, kind of questioning, like, is Roman who I should be siding with in this, you know? And then, I believe it was Jimmy Uso was on the announce table, and Solo was about to jump through the announce table and just take Jimmy out, you know? Jimmy moves last second, takes Solo out, basically. Usos come in, just start dominating on Roman. Dominating with those super kicks. They even hit the 1D. They're hitting the my bad. They hit the frog splash. Then we have Jimmy in the background, just soaking in that moment. Jey Uso pinning Roman. 1, 2, 3. It was incredible. The crowd was through the entire roof. Here we see the Usos standing victorious. We the ones, you know? Usos out here winning the Bloodline Civil War. And overall, this pay-per-view, easily 9 out of 10. I don't know what it is, but seriously, they need to have like an award for best premium live event of the year. You know, top rated premium live event of the year. That would be extremely hard to do, you know. You go through Royal Rumble, you go through WrestleMania, you go through freaking Backlash, you see, and they're doing Night of Champions, they're doing freaking Money in the Bank. I think this is 3 consecutive premium live events outside of the USA, outside of America. They did one in Puerto Rico. They did one in Saudi Arabia. Now they do one in London. If they keep this up, these crowds will just continue to get even crazier and crazier and crazier. I definitely recommend going and watching this if you guys haven't watched it already. This pay-per-view, I know it's always like, oh, it's just the big 4 pay-per-views. It's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and what is the other one? Survivor Series. My bad. I feel like Money in the Bank is starting to solidify itself as a big 5 almost, or like the B tier pay-per-views, like, and there's some C tier ones, you know. But I definitely see Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber is gonna start getting better and better. If they still have TLC, that's like those 3 are like right underneath. They're like a tier below the top 4, you know. And I think it's just a matter of time till they take it over, and they solidify a spot in there. But definitely, I can't wait for all these storylines to continue. We have the Usos and Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, still trying to figure out what Solo's going to do, you know? Like, he didn't show any signs of turning on Roman, but he did show signs of, like, kind of questioning, like, are you serious? And when the Usos would kick out of Roman's pinfalls, Solo kind of had a disgusting look in his face. He's like, are you kidding? You can't finish him with that? So it's definitely something to keep an eye on with just that storyline alone. But now let's see freaking... It looks like Judgment Day already has seeds of betrayal going on from Damian Priest and Finn Balor. We see Io Sky and Bayley, their feud, like, they're going to start breaking up because like Bayley taking Io off the ladder, Io handcuffing Bayley to her enemy of Becky Lynch. Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark versus Becky Lynch. That's going to be a feud that's going to continue. And just all sorts of things, you know? We're just seeing feud after feud, which is amazing. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey is going to be a very good one. I'm going to be looking forward to. We have Drew McIntyre versus Gunther. There's so many different feuds coming out of this. Or continuous feuds, like they're already feuding and they're continuing it. That is just going to be very, very good. I'm thinking that Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns is going to happen at SummerSlam. I truly think that that's going to happen for the Bloodline. And I hate to say it, but I think Finn is going to screw Damian Priest over with the Money in the Bank. Once Damian's going to go cash in, Finn's going to interrupt it, cost him the match, and Seth is going to retain. And it's just going to suck, you know? Because Damian Priest is right there. He just won the Money in the Bank. But I definitely think that, like, you have to keep your head on a swivel. You never know what's going to happen. Like we said, like, Shayna Baszler turning on Ronda Rousey. No one in their right mind could see that coming. I see Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar having a match at SummerSlam. And, yeah, SummerSlam is 5 weeks away. So they have 10 episodes of Raw and SmackDown to be able to tell the rest of their stories, to get their matches ready for SummerSlam. So, oh my goodness, man. Like, I'm just at a loss for words. I feel like I'm just rambling on about nothingness because this is just so good. Hands down, probably easily top 3 pay-per-view of this year. Easily top 3. And with that, I just request that you guys definitely give it a watch. I request you guys give it a watch. Please, if you have not watched already, watch it. But that's our review for Money in the Bank. Go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know, did your predictions go well? What are your thoughts about all the twists and turns that we've taken down this road on Money in the Bank?